Welcome to the Vamos podcast. I am Freddy Rivera, your host. And if you're wondering what Vamos means, it's Spanish for let's go.
Welcome to the Vamos podcast. I am Fred, your host. We are actually relaunching this. This would be the 7th episode of the podcast. And just want to welcome y'all to the relaunch. I wanted to start this in high school. I think I mentioned that before. I asked a buddy of mine that if they wanted to start one with me, they didn't want to. And I ended it there instead of figuring out how to do it. That year was 2004. So it was 20 years ago. Oh my God, that's 20 years ago. I could have been podcasting for 20 years. I could have been Fred Flynn or something, Pat Flynn.
The number one reason why podcasters fail is because they give up before the uptick begins.
Anyway, the best time to plant a tree was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now. So thus we're doing this right now, which is awesome. But essentially wanted to start this since high school. I'm going to make another video about what it took for me to actually set this up right now with this thing. This thing is amazing. This is great. I initially launched this. I was about 6 episodes in. I was about on the 7th episode with the speaker, and we ended up not releasing it for various reasons. Maybe we can record it again or something thereabouts, or maybe we can release it now. But I felt a certain kind of way about what I was making because I felt like I was making a podcast for my job or a employer, and it was literally for me. It's my podcast. It's what I want to do. It's my world. So I just felt it was weird to do that. And I ended up shutting it down with, all things happen for a reason, and that's okay. And I had a lot of stuff going on, so I had to stop it. But I just wanted to take more ownership over what I'm doing and spending my time in the right ways. And that's what I'm doing. I'm taking more ownership, taking command of my time, my calendar, my schedule, what I'm focusing on, what I'm not focusing on. So just wanted to, again, relaunch this podcast. Yeah.
Yay!
I just wanted to relaunch the podcast and kind of just make it as simple as possible for people. There's going to be 4 areas, cuatro áreas, 4 concepts that we're going to kind of focus on in this podcast. Number 1 is we're going to learn more about finances, personal finance, personal credit, business credit, how to start an LLC, just learn more about real estate, about investing. We're going to learn from people that I know, I've interacted with, that are in my network, or that I've met through my travels or just walking this earth, right? And we're just going to learn more instead of watching Netflix or Prime and stuff. There's great stuff on there. Don't get me wrong. There's great stuff on there. But for things to change, you have to change. And for you to change, a great way to do that is, podcasts, audiobooks, YouTube University. But the biggest difference is, and I hope this is something that you learn from just hearing this, is learning is great, but you have to put it to action. If you don't put things to action, it doesn't really matter. You're just kind of talking. That's like saying you have dreams, because dreams without goals are just dreams, and without consistency and perseverance, you're not going to achieve those goals, right? So there's several ingredients, pie, this cake, whatever it is. So we're going to learn more. That's number 1. Número 2, we're going to earn more. So we're going to find out ways to earn more, whether it's helping you get a better paying job, helping you get a more flexible job, helping you get into tech, helping you get into the trades, just helping you earn more, helping you get a promotion. We're going to help you earn more with this podcast. My background being in, HR, talent acquisition, talent management, recruiting, working at some of the best companies in the world, like Amazon, Google, Hulu, Disney, things like that. I've learned from these companies. I've been trained by these companies. I've hired at these companies. I've had a ton of friends that hired for the other tech companies, Microsoft, Facebook, Apple, Netflix, things of that nature. And you just have to figure out, you have to learn exactly kind of what each one is looking for. But typically, they're all kind of looking for the same. The common denominator there is experience, resume, interviewing, and then compensation negotiation. There's more to it, but that's, again, we're going to help you earn more with this podcast. We're also going to help you keep more. How do you keep more? You keep more by learning about things like taxes, how to leverage your benefits in the right way. Again, my background being in HR, I really geek out on benefits, and I think you should too. People need to learn more about like flexible spending accounts, medical, dental, HSAs, or health savings accounts, things of that nature. People need to learn more about that so they could keep more. But in terms of keeping more, you need to learn how to like leverage taxes a lot more, because if there's two people, person one, person two, and person one earns $100 for each transaction, person two earns $75 per transaction, but person one doesn't know more about taxes and they get taxed 50%. They end up with $50. And then let's say person two gets taxed $15. So they end up with 60, right? So the person two, they earn more per transaction and they get to keep more after taxes, right? So do you want to be person one that's paying more in taxes, and or person two that's making more with less effort for it for whatever reason, right? So taxes are very important. I think we don't grow up talking about money and earning more, but also keeping more. That's the second part of the equation that we don't talk enough about. Is we talk more about getting money, making money, doing things, doing the thing, 6 figures, 7 figures, 8 figures, etc. That's all wonderful, but how much of that are you keeping, which is very important? And how much are you guarding yourself from more taxation after you pass? Are you setting up your assets so that they get passed along to your family, to your children, to your loved ones in the right manner? Or do you have something like family trust? Do you have asset protection? If you have a business, you definitely need asset protection. And if you think getting an LLC is going to be the only asset protection that you need, please think again. There's more to it than that. This is all stuff that I really geek out on: taxes, real estate, investing. So we're going to talk about keeping more. And then a future goal, after we've learned more, after we've earned more, after we keep more, we're going to talk about how to give it away, and not all of it away. It's whatever percentage that you feel good with. Cause at the end of the day, that's what matters the most. Is we're going to talk about giving it away, which is philanthropic donations to your own charity, to your friend's charity, your community, causes that you feel very, 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 very strongly about, that you want to make a difference. And instead of relying on other charities or things of that nature, we're going to learn about learn more, earn more, keep more, and then give it away for charity. And giving it away could be, again, giving it away to your kids, to your loved ones. Are you leaving the right amount? Are you thinking about it the right way? Are you leaving it to somebody that you don't want to because you haven't closed certain things, or you haven't set up your entities and you're set up the right way? Some of the episodes are going to be solo episodes, just me talking like this. Some of them are going to I'm going to have a guest or someone that I know, or maybe a guest that I've met through networking. There might be some case studies on people that I really admire and that I think are really, really cool that we might be talking about. So that'd be really cool. Um, and honestly, all this information, like I mentioned at the top, all this information that I mentioned at the top, you have to put it into action, because learning things just to learn them is not the right way to go about doing things. You have to have the potential to increase your earnings by putting things to action. So if I teach you the importance of a Roth IRA account, that's great that you know that, but like, let's put it to the test. Let's start opening some accounts for yourself, for your children, for your loved ones, for your family, so that you could make tax-free profits and earnings. I might have gotten your attention there. And then strategies to retain more income. That's something we're going to talk about. Length of the episodes are going to be about 15, maybe 5. I would say 5 minutes to like 45 minutes, really. And the reason for that being is the average workout, the average commute time, they average at about 45 minutes. So we're going to make sure that they're around the same time, in case, just to kind of line that up. And we're just going to talk about my experience, my mistakes, my learnings, what's been successful for me, how I made $400,000 on one transaction one time, how I made $375,000 on another transaction, how I made $13,000 on my first land deal, how I made $60,000 on another land deal. We'll talk about that. Talk about all the mistakes that I've had, all the learnings that I've had. We're going to talk about all of that. and just kind of sharing everything so that, you could put this to use for at least somebody out there so that I can help you speed things up, right? And basically, I just want to share all this. I want to help you, dear listener, to, improve your life, the quality of your life, of your family, of your loved ones, of your children. We're going to explore like alternate income streams besides just the stock market, because that's all that basically people talk about, I feel. And we're going to talk about stuff like work-life balance and what that kind of means. I'm not a big believer in that. I'm not a big fan of work-life balance. Like, why would I want my work and my life to be balanced? I don't want that. I want my life to be like as much as possible. And it's going to be an exciting journey. These episodes will come out on a weekly basis, maybe once a week, maybe twice a week, maybe more, but just plan on getting that. And I'm just really looking forward to hearing from you. We're on YouTube, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, the Talk Tick, whatever it's called, the cool kids. We got all the Riz. We have no cap. I don't even know what that means. Riz is charisma. And then no cap, I'm still a little unclear. I don't know what that means. I'm not that old, but I just don't hang around with anyway, that doesn't matter. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to make this simplified as possible. We're going to talk to experts. We're going to talk to folks that are doing it the right way and folks that are not just relying on like YouTube or Google, but are putting things to practice, because those are the people that I associate myself with. And anyone on this podcast I've either worked with in my work or is somebody that I deal with because I use their service or product or things of that nature. So stick around. It'll be fun. I promise. If you put some of this stuff to action, you're going to make some money off of it. You're definitely going to learn more. You're going to earn more. You're going to keep more. And then you're going to give some of it away to a charity or of your choice, whether that's yourself, your family, or whatever. So just stick around and we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. So you could do your thing, because I want you to do your thing. I want you to do your thing with your family, your loved ones, your kiddos, your spouse, travel the world, whatever it is that you want. I want you to do your thing whenever you want, with whomever you want. And I want you to be as happy as possible. I don't want you to be working 2-3 jobs. I don't want you to be working 80 hours a week. I don't want you to be too tired to spend time with your children, your spouse, your loved ones, your friends, your enemies. So we'll see. All right. Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing.